One day, a local philosophy professor who was remarkably known for his unique teaching methods paid a visit to a school in his town. When he arrived in the classroom, he was holding an empty glass jar under his arm, by which he was able to grab the attention of kids and made them think that there is something interesting thing going to happen today. He requested his students to carefully examine a sizable empty jar that he was holding up. The jar was evident to the children to be clear and to have plenty of room within. The professor then started to fill stones into the jar, gradually adding each one until they were full. He then asked the children, "Is the jar full?" The students agreed that the jar was indeed full as they examined it. The professor poured some small pebbles into the jar while smiling. The voids between the stones were filled with pebbles. He questioned his students once more. "Is the jar full now?" The students cautiously replied, "Well, now the jar is really full." Calmly, the professor picked up a bag of sand and added some to the jar. Sand washed into the cracks that the stones and pebbles had left behind. He inquired, "Now, is the jar full?" once more. The students looked at each other and thought for a moment before responding. "Okay, the jar is now truly full." The professor grabbed a pitcher of water and poured it into the jar till it was overflowing before giving one last smile. As the water spilled out, he explained, "Just like this jar, your life is filled with various elements. The stones represent the most significant aspects of your life, including your relationships, family, and health. Moreover, if everything else will be lost and only they remain, then still your life will be full." The minor yet equally important elements, including your job, hobbies, and everyday duties and responsibilities, are represented by the pebbles and sand. He further explained that if we put the pebbles and sand in the first place, then there would be no room for stones in the jar. The same goes for your life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff and daily tasks, you will never have the room for things that truly matters in life. A smart student raised her hand and asked the professor, "But professor, what about the water? What place does that have in our lives?" The professor smiled at her insightful question and responded, "The water signifies that no matter how full your life may seem, there is always a room for a cup of coffee or tea with a friend. No matter how busy you are, there is always space for small moments of joy, relaxation, and connection with others in our lives. Therefore, we should never forget what truly matters in our lives. And I urge you to focus on your stones first, which includes your family, health, and your dreams. Take care of these precious stones and always make time for those whom you love and find time to care for your physical and mental well-being. And even when life seems totally occupied, just never forget that there is always a room for moments of joy, a coffee with a friend, and learning new things. Therefore, you should not crowd out the place of your stones with pebbles and sand. You should always make the days count instead of counting the days. If you like this story, let us know in the comments by typing "good one." Your comments will keep us motivated to make such videos in future as well.